Oh,
And we're live.
hopefully.
Hopefully.
The fourth time.
Yep. We're live.
We're live.
Let me mute that actually. All right, so we got a bunch of news topics tonight.
Some exciting, some just normal. Hey, there we go. So, you might be able to tell we changed the setup just a tiny bit. Getting slightly better. You'll
I think
notice
our lighting's better.
Yeah. They'll definitely notice in 15 minutes when
Yes.
the camera doesn't shut off. You want to smack the light over?
Not really.
But we're getting better at the lighting. We're not so washed out.
Washed out. All right.
And then
oh, now why can I not see your screen?
hopefully the camera will be better.
Uploads.
Can't be worse. Cool. Yeah, we are live. And then otherwise we didn't change. Oh, different table. Can't tell. But we got a better table. And I think that's about all we changed. Was just
And the camera. You mentioned the camera?
yeah, camera, lights, table. Same computers. I am trying to find out how to use the Instagram. Computer guy, not a social media guy, which we'll be talking about more for sure. There we go. Let's do this.
And I'm trying to set up my stream right now to restream Jacob's stream.
Yeah, so that's a fun problem.
Yeah, so oh, there we go. All right. So apparently my thing had just timed out. So audio on. Let's turn that up. Turn the audio up. Full screen that. Switch over to my OBS.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. We're going to say that that is good enough.
Good enough. I'm looking for the link I can use to share with people.
Probably just link to your channel.
Oh, there it is, down here. Copy. We're going to send this off to a couple people.
An error occurred. Dropped frames. 50%.
Oh, good God. That's going to be a lot of frames.
It's going to be 15 frames a second. All right. Let's forget this whole restreaming thing, and I'll just upload it late again.
I'm not recording it, so you're going to have to...
I'll rip it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I did last time.
And then, theoretically, we shouldn't be peeking out or nothing. We were a little toasty last time, as I say when I do audio stuff. Get up in the peaking area.
All right, so my stream is live, but it's dropping a ton of frames.
Well, at least gets people notified. Or you can not burn out your computer.
It's not my computer, it's the internet connection. The computer's fine. Trust me, the computer's fine. Streaming 720, not a worry in the world. All right. If you're watching this on my stream, go over to search YouTube for Nephew Tech, subscribe, and watch the stream there.
If you're watching it live, go on over to JMart Media later on and rewatch it.
All right, forget that crap. All right, so our actual topics. We've got news, and then we've got the social media stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Pretty much. So the one thing that I wanted to save, but for the Jeff Bezos' wife becoming the fourth richest woman after their big divorce settlement, I haven't read it yet. It's up here somewhere. There it is.
When I read over that, well, first off, when I read the headline, I was shocked. But then when I went and realized it said woman, I was not quite as shocked.
Okay.
Because he's the richest guy in the world, seconded by Gates, I believe.
They trade off, I think.
Okay. But So when I saw she was the fourth, I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. But the fourth woman, I wonder who the richest woman is actually. I guess at a certain point, when you get so rich, it doesn't really
It
matter.
doesn't really matter. Okay, well, yeah. Number one's Jeff, then it's Bill, and then I bet it's Mark. No, some Bernard.
Some Swiss guy.
Yeah. No idea. CEO of LVMH. No, I thought Mark would have been third.
Mark Zuckerberg. Ooh, there he is.
Number
Eighth.
8.
Wow.
Fallen down.
Yeah, so
I was surprised that she would jump up in the richest because what I thought was she was going after Amazon stock, not money.
So I think that probably counts in
Towards
their
the richness.
Yes.
Okay.
But one thing I did notice from reading the article was that he keeps all the voting power of the stock.
She was awarded 4% of the company, which is worth roughly $36 billion.
So that's a lot of money. But he does retain like control of the company in terms of the voting power. Which
Because I think he owned like 3/4.
he owned a lot of it.
Yeah, it left him with 3/4, 75% of the stock.
Richest woman in the world, Alice Walton, who is the daughter of the guy who started Walmart. So she inherited all that money.
Oh, okay.
Maria Fisolo, who's an Italian billionaire.
I would assume she's a billionaire.
The widow of somebody. And no one I've ever heard of.
Huh.
Kind of sad, actually.
But no,
Number-
I thought she would go after way more than 4% stock. But because you can't really do anything with 4% of stock besides hold on to it or sell
For
it.
money, yeah. But she can't vote anyway, so she can't vote for the company, so.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just the money. Like that's the only value that has to her is the money.
Huh.
Which I think people are happy that Jeff kept control of the company because he's
Pretty good
seems
at
to be
it.
doing pretty good at it.
Yeah, really good at it.
Yeah. He's
Uh,
making some money.
And he's expanding it to the Amazon broadband.
Yes.
Look at that segue right there.
Which I have not followed very closely, but wasn't it another company that was trying to do the same thing? Maybe Google or Facebook. Facebook was talking about like sending up some kind of blimp.
Yeah, because
There's
Facebook
some
wanted to do the
Wi-Fi.
giant blimps for
Yeah.
third world countries, and then it just never posted about it again.
Yeah. So the satellite thing,
I can't find.
blimps are a lot closer than satellites. Satellites are really far away.
Yeah.
Which means latency, and you're probably gonna have a nice antenna, too, on your. Well, I don't know, because your cell phone doesn't have a super big
Yeah.
antenna.
So the one thing I don't like about the satellite idea is service providers around here. I know one of them's HughesNet is a satellite internet
Okay.
service provider. Absolutely garbage.
Is that because of the latency or the speed?
It's like half a megabit.
So what I've got at home.
We're talking about email slow.
Yeah. Wow.
And yeah, because I get a lot of calls on that with people claim the computer's slow. They bring it in. I put a solid state drive in it. They take it back and it's still slow.
So it's not the computer. It's
not
just
It's just the internet.
just the internet. Okay, that makes sense.
So I don't think this is a good solution.
I think that's the big disadvantage to satellite is just the
It's kind of far
latency and speed. Yeah.
But I wouldn't trust them anyways with it because Amazon trust.
Unless you get a VPN.
Still wouldn't. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't like the providers out here anyways. It's one of our streaming problems is that
Yeah,
not many options.
that was the problem with my restream is just that my internet's so slow. Honestly, it's because we're going for the cheap stuff though, not because we can't get better. There are better options.
So I could go better, but then we're talking over $100 a month
Yeah. For just internet?
for just internet. I don't have TV or phone.
Okay.
I'm paying for just internet because I own a cell phone and then I work, so I don't need TV.
Yeah.
Because if I'm
There's
gonna,
never anything on TV. It's just might as well go to Netflix or
yeah,
YouTube.
Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, and that's about covers you. And then you were talking before the stream about the drones carrying blood.
Yes. So there is a hospital in Raleigh, North Carolina, that is either planning on or they may already be. The title of the article is Hospital Using Drones, not planning on using drones, to fly blood samples between buildings. So essentially, the concept is they're going to have some kind of drone landing pad in one building and a drone landing pad on the other building. They'll put the blood samples on the drone, and the drone will fly to another building to hopefully move the blood samples quicker so they don't congeal or like dry up. Because if the blood sample dries up, then they got to take another one.
So what are the blood samples for? Because I have a really simple solution to this problem.
Well, there's already a really nice way of transporting them that they already have, which I'll talk about too.
Okay.
But I guess the point of moving blood samples is for blood tests. So just blood tests. So if you get pricked and they're checking you for diabetes, they're checking you for something in your blood, iron in your blood, or that kind of thing.
I feel like there should be a way, like a I don't know what the right word is, like a mini toaster almost, that you can just stick the blood samples into, and it will just calculate, oh yeah, this, and then be done with it. And then
so they would be doing all the blood tests in the room.
Almost, yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's probably a reason they're not doing that.
Okay.
I think the machines are going to be too expensive for that. But what they have been doing in the past is, the things at the bank where you pull into the drive-thru? Exactly. So they use some kind of vacuum tubes to transport the blood, not as in just a tube like it's the raw blood going through the tube, but cylinders with the blood inside. Yeah. Where they're zipping them across.
Water pipeline, just blood.
Yeah. Then your test results would probably come back a little bit mixed if they were doing
a little iffy.
Yeah. So they have these vacuum tubes, kind of like at the bank when you pull into the drive-thru, that suck your blood, I guess, to the testing center. Maybe they have it out in the hall, like one station at the hall. You put the blood in, and it zips over to the testing center. So that's kind of what they're doing, like hospitals are doing currently, I guess.
I didn't think it was that big of a problem.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I'm interested in how drones can actually
improve the speed.
Just improve anything. Like, would it be practical for Amazon drone delivery, or I don't know.
I don't think drone delivery is a good idea.
I don't know. Drones are not very efficient. So here's an example of a drone that we've built, and these things fly. These drones that we built don't carry any weight. They could carry a little bit of weight, but they fly for what, 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Which is not very efficient for the. It's just not very efficient. You need a fixed wing, something to be efficient, and then actually transport stuff. But
I'd be curious on how fast it becomes felonies and such to have fishing nets, or even arguably like back nets for football goals. It's like if it's flying to deliver at a school or something, it would fly over the school field, and if there's some type of netting, or like at a golf course where they have the 3-story high netting to keep the balls off the road.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Because then you're talking about flying a drone really, really high.
Where planes fly.
Yeah.
Which is not good. Because, I think currently the maximum limit is 400 feet.
Okay.
So if the delivery drones are flying between 300 and 400 feet, and you set some kind of limit to the tallest your net can be is 300 feet, then you'd be relatively fine.
Yeah, you're right, 400 feet.
Yeah.
Which isn't very high, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I can definitely see how this would speed up moving blood samples around in a hospital building, because hospital buildings can be tall, and they're like a maze.
So for most hospitals, I don't think it would, because they're built so close together. I feel like they'd have like the garage back doors, like employee service elevators or something that would be simpler.
But I think still, you've got to go to the elevator, down the elevator, across to the other elevator, up the other elevator.
I think this makes more sense for hospitals that are like 10 miles from a bigger hospital. Okay. So like we have like Raleigh has a big hospital in downtown Raleigh, I'm sure. And then the little outlying towns around the edge of Raleigh also have their little emergency centers. That's where I think it's more useful, because then you can shoot the drone, I guess, 400 feet in the air and then just fly it straight. And
Yeah,
if you could fly it at 70 miles an hour with
which is doable.
10 blood samples or something
Yeah.
on it. But then that's not much faster than just paying someone to drive it. If you have to, because then you're an efficiency thing. Because if you just driving one blood sample at a time, it's not efficient.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Because yeah, that doesn't make sense. But then if you're waiting for 10 blood samples or something, it might be 3 days before you have that many blood samples at the hospital you need to test.
Yeah, but the problem is blood samples dry up within probably. I mean, I guess it depends, but
I never had to have my blood
so
sampled.
I was in the hospital one time and I had to get my fingers pricked, and so they pricked like, and I didn't have any blood coming out of my fingers either, so they pricked like 5 fingers, and they took the blood sample, and then like 15 minutes later they came back up and said the blood had already congealed. Already dried up. So they had to prick another 5 fingers. So it's a short time period.
Why don't they take more blood? Like when you donate blood for Red Cross. And just instead of taking apparently 1 drop, just take like, I don't know the measurements, but more than
This
a
was when I
drop.
was in the hospital and they were pricking my fingers to get blood samples.
Huh.
To test my blood
Yeah.
while I was in the hospital.
I just feel like if time's a limiting factor to the point they need drones, they could just take a little more blood.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about biology and blood, so they probably have a good reason for drones. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't. It's cool, but it doesn't make sense. The fun article I saw that you had posted was the 2 students accused of jamming school's Wi-Fi to avoid tests. This is so genius. I wish I thought of it.
Yeah. So apparently, let's see. Apparently there were some students, you know where it was? New Jersey, who jammed their school's Wi-Fi, probably just DOSed it, I guess, and jammed the Wi-Fi so they couldn't take a test. It must have been an electronic test on the computers. Yeah, it says, since much of the school's curriculum is internet-based, the lack of Wi-Fi connection disrupted the students' daily assignments.
My question is, why would you brag about it to the point you get caught?
Yeah, because they're doing it to show off to their friends.
Because
that's how a lot of people get caught, is just bragging about it.
Yeah. Man, okay, so I heard one story. I think it was happening around here. One kid was taking his driver's ed test, and it was the driving portion. And he lost control of the car, and it ran into a concrete post and totaled the car. Everyone was okay, but because he lost control, it was declared an accident from insurance standards. So he wasn't responsible for the car because the teacher is technically responsible. It's because the teacher has a brake in our state. So the teacher has their own special brake in the passenger seat. So they should have been able to stop the car before it hits a concrete post. But then he was bragging about it to friends, and insurance came back and charged his parents for purposely wrecking a car, because instead of it being declared an accident, it was purposely running into a post.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I feel like that this is pretty much on the same path. That it's
Yeah, because this was shared on Reddit, and the highest rated comment is, or highest upvoted, whatever it's called.
I've never used Reddit.
It says, honest question. How exactly is it that people get caught for jamming signals? There's the tech way, which I highly doubt any public school would have an employee smart enough to do it. Then they bragged. I'm placing my bets on the second.
Yeah.
They bragged to friends.
'Cause
So,
as a computer guy, I wouldn't even know how to, because
at least how to identify the 2 students. You might be able to identify the problem, what was going on, that someone was DOSing it, but finding the 2 students that were doing it.
Yeah, so like I think I'd be able to figure out that it was being overloaded, DOSed. But to find out the students, you might be able to figure out the room. It depends greatly if the students bring their own computers, if it's school supply computers, or if it's a computer room in the school.
Yeah.
If there's a computer room in the school, then it's super easy to find the student, on the assumption they have cameras in that school.
Yeah. Or are tracking,
logins.
Yeah.
Login. That would make everything a lot easier.
But Hey,
privacy
those
rights.
students learned something, so
Yeah, learn something.
probably more than they were going to learn in that test, to be completely honest.
It was a middle school, I think.
Yeah, 14-year-olds. Authorities say the 14-year-old used an app or a computer program, very specific, to compromise the network.
So I'm curious if they even did it on purpose. Because the article is written to make it sound like they did it on purpose.
That's true.
I'm curious if they had porn at the house, or they didn't want to get caught at the house, and they were pirating. And they were just downloading content. And it
So they left torrent on.
Yeah, and they left just like a torrent running to download. And then, because if you're torrenting, then you're using up all the bandwidth.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make the crash. It would time it out.
Yeah.
But then we're talking about not tech-savvy people where crashing and timing out are the same thing. So I'm curious if it was even purpose, or if it was one of those things where they didn't mean to crash it, but then once it crashed and they realized it was theirs, then they bragged about it.
They did it on purpose?
Yeah, it was my... I did that.
I can see that happening.
Because I want to almost bet money that it was that rather than them both trying to avoid
On
tests.
purpose. I don't know, though. Some people don't like tests. I don't like tests.
Really? I find tests really easy.
Depends on the test.
Okay, that's very true.
If you're 14 years old, you don't want to take no test.
I found that it's easiest to procrastinate. Wait till the night before the test. Pull an all-nighter. Just memorize all the questions, and then, or all the answers that you can, and then just take the test. And then I haven't looked up this one here. This next post, you're pulling it up actually.
So recently, Linus Torvald, who is is he one of the first creators of Linux?
I think so. I always just call him the person who created Linux.
Yeah, so apparently there's this guy, Robert Young, who is interviewing Linus. And 25 years ago, they had an interview. So this is like a 25-year reunion in a way.
Yeah. And then there's another guy named Bob in this interview.
I wonder if that's Robert.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking that's Robert.
Okay, that's Robert. Okay. Yeah, I just got to that third line and said Bob. So I got real confused there for a hot second.
So they talk about Linux, and they talk about Linus's role in Linux and how he's kind of becoming less involved just as more and more people get involved. He's just kind of stepping down because he's getting older and whatnot. But anyway, later in the article, Robert or Bob asks him a question. He says, this is quoting Bob, if you had to fix one thing about the networked world, what would it be? And Linus said, nothing technical, but I absolutely detest modern social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, it's a disease. It seems to encourage bad behavior.
I agree.
I agree to a certain extent. I think that being able to keep in contact with people that you don't see often is cool.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older and you have a job and you're not going to the same school every day. It's cool in that aspect that you get to stay in touch. And some of the things like YouTube is great for learning.
Okay, yep. I agree there.
Although it's kind of getting overwhelmed with people just making content and pushing out content.
Yes.
It's not quality.
So one thing that I really wish was a real thing is almost government-controlled Facebook. So China did this very poorly. Where you have to verify that you are the real physically you on a social media platform, and that could be anything from most likely a social security number, because that's about the only thing that can differ from different people at this point. Somehow you have to verify that you are the real person. Nextdoor.com does it really well by doing addresses.
Yeah.
But then
how do they verify your address? Do they?
Yes, they verify they send a postcard to your address.
Interesting.
So one of the big things with Nextdoor, though, is that scammers are saying they live at an address, and then they're going to that mailbox 3 days later and taking the postcard out of the mailbox.
Gotcha.
And then verifying themselves. And then they're able to post whatever they want into your neighborhood ads. So what I would like is a Facebook where you have to be verified, because Nextdoor doesn't do the thing that Facebook accomplishes, and that's where you're able to friend people you're actually friends with.
Not just people who you live near.
Yeah, not just people that you're forced to live next to.
Yeah. So instead of having multiple spam accounts,
Yeah.
you would have your one account.
Yeah.
And that would be it.
So I actually still own the domain. I'm not going to say what it is, but I own the domain. I actually worked on something like this. It was going to be for the small town that I'm working in, and it was going to be mostly for small business owners or aspiring professionals, I guess is the best word for it.
Okay.
And it was be invite only, and then everything had to be legitimized. So it would be like a real profile picture of you, your real name, your real birth date. It would be real address. I mean, they'll know pretty much everything about you. It's basically a business card for social media. But then it'll be a full forum where you can friend everyone and you're able to talk. So I can go on the forum and be like, hey guys, what are your hours for Columbus Day this, coming up?
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things I do is that every holiday I talk to a couple of the other local business owners like, hey, what are you doing for these hours? Because
is this a holiday that nobody
Yeah.
celebrates, or is it a holiday that I should shut down for?
Yeah, because the small town, you'll be surprised on how many businesses will just all close the same days.
Yeah.
And I've gone to work and like, there's not a single small business open today.
Yeah.
I'd be the only one.
Yeah. And if everybody in the town expects all the business to be closed, then you really won't get any business.
Yeah.
Even if you are open.
Yes, like most small towns have all their small businesses close on Sunday, Mondays, and that's just kind of expected.
Okay, yeah.
But then if a holiday falls on a Friday or even a Saturday, they might close Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they'll all be open on Monday.
Okay.
And they might just all flip-flop their
So they're
hours.
kind of uniform.
Yeah, because all the business owners seem to know each other.
Yeah, which makes sense. So that would be almost like a, what's the group that you're involved in? Like the local city.
Oh, like a chamber of commerce.
Yeah, so it'd be almost like a social media chamber of commerce
Yeah,
in a way.
like a chamber of commerce forum.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. The chamber of commerce group company thing. I know you're something bigger, chamber of commerce, because y'all are like a huge multinational thingy.
But that sounds like kind of what you're describing,
Yeah,
where each business is verified and.
yeah. Because I would like a way like how Nextdoor does it, where you're able to talk to everybody in the community. But then I also want a separate feed page of friends, family, and I think Google Plus was going towards that. And then
Until it died.
Until it hit the ground hard.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned Google Plus because I think that's one thing that Linus said he was involved with or starting to get involved with before it died. Yeah, he says, I'm not on any social media. I tried Google Plus for a while because the people on it weren't the mindless usual stuff, but it obviously never went anywhere.
Yeah, because it never got past the techie people.
Yeah.
And even the techie people didn't really use it.
Yeah, because they're busy doing other things.
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, so I've been trying to grow my Instagram and my YouTube channel, obviously, and I haven't really started on Facebook yet. But I was doing a lot of research on how to grow your Instagram page. And everything that I found, and I think you found the same thing, said quantity over quality. Post often.
Every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
Just spam it.
Yeah.
Because then one of the next higher services you can do for Instagram is pay a bot to auto upload. Like Facebook does it on pages where you can schedule posts. Instagram doesn't allow it, but you can get server bots to post it for you at a fee. I don't think they're legal, but that's one of those things that legal versus popularity. Most people pick popularity.
Yeah. I mean, that would be something that I could probably build.
It'd be really nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't like the whole quantity over quality. And it seems like YouTube's going that way too.
Yeah.
With a lot of I think that's why gamers can grow so quickly on YouTube is because they're gaming every day and they really don't have as much editing. They pretty much game and
because it's live
and
gaming.
clip. Yeah. And then they post their clips and then people see them. But they post regularly.
Yeah.
And often. So
which is kind of funny because the only gaming videos I watch are the overly edited ones where it's they're taking you through their campaign or something. But it's not just clips. Like, all right, so next we're going to do this, but first I need fast travel there. And then it cuts over. All right, so now we fast traveled over there.
Yeah.
But it's more storyline driven rather than just
playing whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to get the click, it's just them playing the game.
Mm-hmm. And vloggers are kind of the same way in that I think they do a lot more editing, but they post a video pretty much every day.
Yeah, or
a lot of
like
them
once
do.
a week or twice a week.
A few times a week, yeah.
So I was curious about doing blogging once.
Vlogging or blogging?
Oh, vlogging. Yeah, blogging. There's no way I write that much. Yeah.
Type it out.
Yeah, doing live vlogging though, where it would almost be like 24/7 live, but then I could just like always have the camera on me, and then it's like, oh, live, and hit a button, and then I'm just live, and it's almost how a Beam was supposed to be, where you took the phone and you held it against your chest, and it was supposed to record and then auto upload.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever knew Beam.
No.
No. Okay. So it was kind of like Instagram, but you couldn't control filters or anything. It did with your proximity sensor. So what you did is you say make a new post, and then you hold it against your chest, and the proximity sensor would get dark, and then it would just record, and then it would ding when the recording's done, or if you pull off the chest, it finishes, and then auto uploads. Beam's still a real thing, I think. I don't know if it is now. And it's a really cool idea. I kind of like it.
So it's like a realistic view of what you're actually
and
doing.
It would be an unedited, and it'd be a lot harder to fake them because you couldn't frame your shot as well.
You'd have to like frame a computer monitor or something.
Because the idea was that you couldn't edit it. Once you pulled off your chest, it auto uploaded.
Gotcha.
And you didn't get to take a second. You didn't get to try again.
Okay.
But then, I mean, you could find ways to fake it, like just covering the proximity sensor.
Yeah.
Because you'd be able to set the phone on a tripod, frame it, and then go into the Beam app, cover proximity sensor, and then you could fake it that way.
Yeah.
But I like the Beam idea. I just never tried it.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't want to be one of those guys that's just quantity over quality. I want to make quality videos that you actually gain something when you watch them, as opposed to just. I mean, watching for entertainment is fine. Yeah. But I don't know.
So Eli the Computer Guy does it really well because he posts a lot of videos. The Daily Blob is like an hour and a half to 3 hours every day of just a video. And so like today I was watching.
But it's video of him like a podcast style, like this,
it's
right?
exactly like this, except it's him by himself and he's usually angry.
Yeah.
Or disappointed. That's one of the two. And I usually watch him when I'm eating lunch.
Okay.
Unless he's talking about some disgusting subject that
you can't eat while you're listening to it.
But like today he was I watched the video on he was when he was doing the one-on-one calls with people, and it was people that wanted his opinion, but then he wasn't the right guy to ask for the opinion on. He's like, okay, you shouldn't be talking to me. You should really be seeing a therapist or a professional about like. That wasn't his feel because he's more of a tech professional or business professional and not a mommy daddy issue professional.
Okay, gotcha.
But he posts a lot of content. Most of it, I would say a majority of it's garbage content. It's just filler. Yeah. But it's the filler in the right times when he posts it. Because every time I go onto YouTube to watch something when I eat lunch or sometimes dinner, mostly lunch, he always has one topic out of the new 12 videos that I'm like, all right, let's hear 15 minutes about this. So that's the only time I'm quantity over quality.
That's one thing that I like about the Joe Rogan experience, actually, is because he clips a lot of
he does short topic clips.
Yeah, so he'll record the whole
3 hour,
anywhere from 1 hour to 4 hours. Yeah, I mean it's a wide range depending on who he's interviewing and how well the interview is going. Anywhere from an hour to 4 hours, and he'll post that on one channel, and then he'll post shorter clips of their interview on a different channel. And I was thinking that it would be interesting actually for us. The swatting talk was pretty good, I thought. Okay. So it'd be interesting if we
somehow got clipped.
Yeah, different Wow, that probably blasted your ears. I bumped my mic. But if we clipped certain topics that we
Yeah,
liked.
the ones that go really well.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
seem to flow much better.
yeah.
Because yeah, Eli's definitely quantity over quality, but then like I'm trying to think of Louis Rossman also does quantity over quality. I would argue on that, but then he has some really high quality content that's low quality in production value.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I really want high is production value. I really, really like high production value. But I'm not sure if I like production value or quality of content more.
I think you can do both because I think once you get your production value up and your setup set up,
Yeah.
you'll be good. Like I think once you got your camera set up and you know how your camera needs to be set up and you've got your background and everything set up.
Okay. I'm trying to think of Shots of Awe by Jason Silva. It's really, really well done. And they're like 3-minute videos. The thing I don't like about them is that it gets really repetitive.
Okay.
It's really, really, really good content, but it's the exact same content
Over and over again.
over and over again. So once you watch it for a month, you've watched it for 2 years.
So it was called what? Shots
of Awe by Jason Silva. And he used to be or still is the host of Brain Games. That's how I heard about him.
Okay. I remember Brain Games.
But yeah, I used to watch like 4 of his videos during lunch. And then after a couple of weeks, I was like, all right.
I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah. they all start to run together.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I fear is that as a tech channel, it's going to be a lot of running together. That Linus says something, Jay's 2 cents says something, Barnacle says something, Marcus Brownlee
I've
says
noticed
something,
that as well. Yeah.
and then it's like they all said the same thing with a different voice.
Yep. Like they all made videos on the Verge PC building.
Yeah.
And then they all made videos of Kyle being whatever attacked by
Yeah.
the Verge people. Like they all made videos talking
Yeah.
about that.
So I've actually started watching. I feel terrible for not knowing his name. Gamer Nexus.
Okay, yeah. Steve?
That sounds right.
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, I started watching Gamers Nexus a lot more recently.
Yeah.
Because his stuff's going up really high in value. And I feel like his confidence shot up through the roof.
Okay.
But then I never watch any Jay's 2 cents or Barnacles unless somebody else mentions one of their videos.
Yeah.
I'm subscribed. I see them. But it's the exact same thing that everyone else is posting. And you don't need 17 opinions about a topic you're not very invested into.
Yeah, I would say Jay's production value is pretty good. Like,
Okay.
really good. But yeah, I think if you get the right camera set up and the right mic set up and audio set up, your production value will be all right.
And the right upload speed.
Yeah, and well, for streaming the right upload speed, but you don't need upload speed for just posting to YouTube.
So I want to actually do a lot more streaming than I do not streaming content.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't
More like what Lewis does.
Yeah, because I don't like video editing. And like Louis Rossman's really good about just live streaming. You get what you get. What you don't get sucks to be you.
If you're doing that, I think your production quality might
drop like a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because having multiple takes definitely helps with production quality. Unless you have a what do they call it? The reading thing?
Oh, prompt.
A teleprompter, yeah.
Okay, we got there. Which, I mean, we could make the giant 49-inch TV into a teleprompter. Stick it right above the camera.
Yeah. Zip tie it to the shelf.
Yeah, so right now I've been using it just to watch our audio, and we've been pretty close on it. So I think the audio is going to sound a lot better this week.
We'll see. We'll see how, like, if we still have that little whine in your mic.
We probably do, to be honest.
Because we haven't actually listened to it.
Yeah.
To be totally fair. Which is probably a mistake.
you like that. See if that takes out the wine. Just barely dropped it a little bit. That or I just ruined my audio for the last 20 minutes of this. But this would be a good place to add sponsors. So if you want to sponsor the show, we will be looking for sponsors in the future.
Yes. Once we get everything worked out.
Yep. Once it becomes to the point where you can just walk in, set up your camera, plug it in, turn on the computer, hit stream. That's where we want to be.
Well, in theory, that's all we should have had to do tonight.
In theory.
In theory.
But what we did get working tonight, I can actually pull it
yes.
up here. Let's see what we can
Gamers Nexus.
Yeah, we'll just do Gamers Nexus. We're going to close off a couple of these tabs here. There we go. We actually got our second capture card working. So if we come over here and we take away our names, we should have screen capture.
That seems to be working.
And so we finally got our screen capture working, which will be fantastic for the future.
We need to set up a keybind to remove all that jazz.
Yeah. But we also got the animations to finally work
correctly. Hey!
Look at those smooth animations. The one thing I kind of want to do, I can't show you with a mouse because that's not how the screen capture works. Is flip-flop the logo on one of us.
So yeah.
So it looks more mirrored. Yeah. So yeah,
like
my
that.
curve would be over.
Yeah, I can do that. That shouldn't be too hard.
That or we just have a full solid bar.
Yeah, that's what they have on the WAN show.
Yeah.
Is they have just a, not quite as tall, but just a short band that goes all the way across.
Because I would almost be interested if we can have it so when we animate over, so like when we do one of these animations like that, when the title disappears and reappears, instead of it just coming in side to side, is that it has like a video animation. So instead of it being a static image, it's a video.
Okay.
And it just, I don't know, electricity or unfold or something fancy.
Yeah.
But then instead of it being a still image, it just kind of floats. So it has like an open animation, and then you can reverse it for closing. And then it has like a moving watermark almost.
Yeah, I've seen that on Twitch streamers.
That way.
Have just like a flowing light or something.
Yeah. I think that would look really cool. That's a lot of work.
I think it'd look really cool, but I think that's a lot of work. And
end goals.
Yes, end goals. We'll see if we get there. First, we need to get some topics.
Yeah. Yes, I've been super busy this week.
Yeah. I just found these late last night. Probably around midnight, actually.
Oh. So.
So you can probably tell we need to work on preparation.
A lot. I need to look more into news. One of the big things is the news I read is not fun talking news. It's why Windows 10 doesn't turn on sometimes news.
News that actually applies to him and his job?
Yeah. News that applies to me and my job.
But you don't care about. Yeah. And neither do I. Oh, yeah. Apparently Google has, I don't know if I showed you this. Google has something called Chrome Remote Desktop where you can.
I've heard about it.
You can remotely connect to a PC.
Does it work?
Chrome. Yeah, it was working all right. I
will
will say,
yeah. Oh.
It's not very fun to use, but it works and it's easy to install.
Okay.
So pretty much on the PC that you're going to be remotely accessing, not accessing from, but the one you're going to be accessing.
Yeah.
All you have to do is like download a browser plugin and then download something on the computer.
Oh.
And then you type in your PIN and you log into your Google account.
That's super easy.
And then you can log into a Google account. You can even do it from your phone. Log into a Google account on your phone and then select the desktop you want to remotely access.
Okay.
And that's it.
I use TeamViewer Personal. I have it on my phone and all of my computers because TeamViewer Personal works really good.
I haven't done much with this Google remote desktop.
It looked really pretty. I thought it was Linux.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have like 3 different size monitors, which makes it really awkward to zoom.
Okay.
And scroll around.
See, that's why I thought it was Linux. Because
So that was
didn't
part of
look
my
quite
problem.
right.
Yeah, that was one of my problems. But
That's going to be a problem
It
for me,
works.
though, because I have a laptop resolution here, and upstairs I have the 1080p resolutions, and at the shop I have 4K. And then, I guess in the other rooms, I have 1080p's also.
setup was easy.
That's what really matters, because
Yeah.
TeamViewer is easy in the sense of program setup, but it's still go to the website, download it, install it, uncheck almost every box on every page, and then sign in, and then you have to go into the computer settings and hit allow remote access on every computer.
Yeah.
This
This was much easier to set up.
A
Yeah.
lot easier than that. But I've already got TeamViewer set up at this point that I'm not switching it.
Not unless they offer something really good,
Yeah.
like tracking all your data, so you can
Yeah.
you can view all your past logins,
That would be really convenient.
automatically post it to YouTube.
One thing I wish Windows 10 would do, one feature I really wish it had, was notifications for computer activity for your phone. For Android, and I couldn't care less about Apple devices, but I guess Apple. So if something happens with my computer upstairs, like the Windows 10 notifications, I would love to get the Windows 10 notifications on all of my computers on my phone.
So
That
I don't use
sounds-
Windows 10 notifications.
It sounds stupid because the majority of people who don't, but I like the idea of it because sometimes I need people to do something on my computer real fast for me, and I'd like the notification that just says like this program's opened, so I know like, oh cool, it's open now, so I don't have to call them back like, hey,
Did you do it?
Yeah. Did you get up and do it yet?
Yeah.
Because I think that would be super helpful because Windows 10, I don't know if it's a plugin or something. Linus, I think, used it. The USB or like the NFC key, where if you put your keys next to it, unlocks 10 for you.
Okay.
I think that's with the phone too. I think you do it with your phone now. I haven't looked at setting it up.
Oh, so your phone comes near the PC?
Yeah, and it auto
turns on.
unlocks.
Okay.
I think that's
I guess you've obviously got to have some kind of USB plug-in or.
well, like this phone. It doesn't have the symbol, but it has a NFC thing, and so you're able to transfer files without actually plugging it in.
Oh, that's cool. Mine
So-
definitely doesn't have that.
It's still nicer than mine.
My laptop from the 1900s.
Mine's not far behind. Far ahead.
Definitely ahead though.
Got an old i5. That's all the topics I really got. Nothing too exciting happened with me this week.
Nothing really exciting with me. I'm pushing out a Python tutorial series. So if you want to learn Python, have you heard of Python?
I have.
It's a programming language.
What are you doing with it?
Well, right now I'm just doing a tutorial, but I've made Discord bots and I can make YouTube bots and Reddit bots.
Oh, okay.
That kind of thing. It's mainly used for, well, right now it's used big for data science and artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And it can also be used for scripting stuff.
So
It's like sending out emails. You could write a script to send out emails. Or write a script to post to Instagram.
I might buy that one off of you.
Yeah.
That'd be a handy little script.
Yeah. So far, not a lot of views.
Oh, is it live now?
What, we're live now?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Episode 0
episodes?
and
Of
episode 1.
course.
Because when you're programming, you obviously start with 0. Episode 0, you don't really have to watch it. It's just an introduction to the tutorial.
Thank God.
Yeah. Episode 1 is how to install and run your first script.
Okay.
The next episode is going to be about variables. So this is like for the absolute beginner programmer.
So, like
So
me.
episode 1 is about variables,
Okay.
like strings, integers,
Arrays.
floats. No, not arrays yet.
Is
That's like episode 9.
Wait, are arrays that complicated? Because isn't it just kind of like
They're not that complicated, but this is for the absolute
okay?
beginner. This is like teaching variables, okay?
So I never knew I still don't fully understand the purpose of arrays when you can just have a million variables.
Because having a million variables, one, your variable names are awful.
Okay.
and they're really hard to keep track of, and it looks really ugly in the code. But with an array, you could have an array of multiple items, and you can loop through that array. So you might have an array of people, and you can loop through every person in that array. So instead of saying person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4, person 5, you would say for each person in the array.
See, I took one semester of C# coding, and the teacher tried to teach me arrays.
C#'s pretty difficult, from what I've heard.
I barely passed. The teacher just felt bad.
Yeah. So I think episode 1 or episode 2 is on variables. 3 is going to be on simple input and output. So just from the console, typing and then printing out to the console. 3 might be on how to write a function.
Okay. That gets complicated fast.
Yeah. But they're going to be short videos. They're like 5 minutes long each. So they're not terrible to watch.
Okay.
It's going to be 10 total. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. One thing that I've been wanting to learn more on is a little bit of PHP.
Okay.
For one specific purpose. Purpose. Email forms for websites.
Okay.
I want them to look prettier, because right now I just paid a friend to write me out the basics, and then I went in and I was able to edit it, so I got all the PHP information. But then in my email it sends, it's just like 6 lines. And it's like, to this address, from this address, this subject line, this phone number, and then this input box. And it looks super 1920s, I guess is the best way to put it.
So you're talking about like where on a website it has the contact us section, and then a potential customer enters in some info, hits send, and then it would get directly emailed to you.
I'm going to pull up mine, but I'm going to full screen it so you can't see what website it is. Oh, well, that might be a problem. Yeah, we can't full screen that. I got a floating bar. My website is
it's actually pretty nice.
It's too nice. I actually really like it. It took me like 3 months to make it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, but there's little contact forms like that.
Okay.
But then, yeah, it just, on the email, it's all just normal text. I mean, it doesn't really matter because only me and one other guy sees it.
Yeah.
But when we then reply to it, it replies to the email entered of the person. And then they see what we see.
Which is not pretty.
Okay. But yeah, I was super proud because I was able to get this working by myself, which is like
a drop-down box.
A drop-down input box for contact information.
I like the curve there, what do they call it, the border radius?
Border radius, yes. I was told that the radius is too strong. Apparently,
I like it.
Modern design is a border radius of like 2 or 3. It's just enough that you take off like 4 pixels, Apparently, that's the modern design. Because I did have it very sharp, and then they told it, so like that's a border radius of 2. And they're like, that's perfect. We just want enough that you cut off those 4 pixels or those 3 pixels on the top. Yeah. I was like, you crazy, but we'll do it. And it looks great.
Yeah, it does look good. I don't mind the border, though, on the bottom, on the contact. It's fine, in my opinion. Is it all on one page?
No, so it is a multi-page HTML.
Okay.
So it's a bootstrap. It was originally single page, and then I just made a bunch of pages. Mm-hmm. It's actually like 6 different bootstraps put together.
Gotcha. That sounds
terrible.
That sounds complicated.
A lot of excess code in there. So what I did is I just started downloading all the bootstraps that I thought looked really pretty. This is how I design websites. I just look up HTML5 free bootstrap responsive. And then I just start scrolling through the billions of free website templates.
Yeah.
And then everyone that looks like there's something on there that I like, I just hit download. And then I have these 40 different like downloaded zip folders of websites. I extract them all into this one massive folder with all the different website folders. And then I create a new one that says whatever the project name will be. So like cookies or whatever. And then I just open up one of them like, all right, this is going to be the template.
The main template.
Yeah, the main template. and then like, all right.
And you drag CSS in from other.
Yeah. The first thing I do is I open up Microsoft Paint, and I write down every page I want. It's like if we go, oh, we don't have my OneDrive on here. Every website I own has a Microsoft Paint drawing of homepage, and then it's like a tree, and it's like, so from the homepage, you're gonna want the services page, the about page, the contact page, and then maybe something else like that. And then from those, so like if you want to go to like the about page, I will have listed under everything you want about. So I have the company about, and then I'd have the people about, and then under I'll usually have like
The little
contact buttons or footers or, and that's how I build it. I built like a tree in just Microsoft Paint.
Well, you've got the right idea. You're just using Microsoft Paint.
So the reason I like Microsoft Paint over all the other programs is that you can just do this, and you can circle whatever you want to move.
And move it.
And you can move your, I mean, I guess I could show you all this. It doesn't make much of a difference. But it's like if you create your pages, we're just going to, it's like if you create your pages here, say like I'd have that as my home page. So I would create it, and then I would just say my index page. And then from that, so I would want a couple more pages.
I'll have to teach you Inkscape because Inkscape can do the same thing.
Okay. And then so
but it looks nice.
So then I'd have like my services, and we'll do my about page. Your computer's getting toasty.
It's getting a little toasty.
And then my contact page. Oh, contact. Like that. And then I would just do lines. It's like those are going to connect. Yeah, those are
like
all going to connect.
Pages.
But then so if I want to do more on the contact pages, like if I want separate pages for each person, it's like it's super detailed or a super personal business, like nurse care or home cleaning or something. For home cleaning services, you would almost want them separate. So then you would have contact, and then you would put down here like Janice. Janice. And then George or something. I don't know. And then that's how I build all my templates.
No, I think you're doing the right thing there by planning ahead what you're going to build.
Yeah. Because then that way I know I have 2 separate pages that always sit off to the side. And one of them is called my header page, and one of them is called my footer page. And the reason I have these separate is one solid good reason. That sometimes when I'm editing a page, so like if my contact page isn't working right, I'll start editing the code, and I'll accidentally select a part of the code to delete it because it wasn't working or whatever, and I'll delete the footer too.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'll go and grab it off like the contact page, but then I forgot that I haven't updated the contact footer page, so it's behind also.
Okay.
So I have 2 separate HTML documents that have just a header and just a footer, and so whenever I'm done editing, I go to those, I open up those 2, and then I paste over all the pages again.
That's why you need to learn PHP, because with PHP you can literally you can have your
yeah, there we go.
So with PHP you could have a separate file for your header, then your main body file. So you might have so you might have index.html or index.php, it really doesn't matter. And then you have your header.php or header.html. And then you have your index.php. This would have to be PHP. And then you'd have your footer.php or footer.html. And in your index.html, at the very top, you would say include file header.php.
Oh.
So when the user goes to index.php, when the file is generating, PHP stands for like pre-processed HTML or something. What does it stand
PHP.
for? I should really know this because I made a video about this.
Oh, if I can spell the word definition.
PHP hypertext preprocessor is what it stands for.
Hypertext
PHP hypertext preprocessor.
Wow.
So what it does is it processes the HTML before it returns it to the user's browser. So the user visits index.php, and on the server, it says, hey, I need this file. So it grabs the index or the header.php file, puts that at the top of the document, grabs the footer.php, puts that at the end of the document, and returns index.php with the extra code, if that makes sense.
That's kind of genius.
So you have one footer and one header for your entire website.
So would that increase loading times or decrease loading times for SEO? Because like SEO engines will sometimes test how fast the website loads. Because
it wouldn't speed it up.
Okay, I want to sure if it would fool it to speeding up. Like, hey, it loaded the main file really fast.
Because the main file, all that the browser ever sees is the entire file with the header and the footer.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you go to a PHP file, and you know how you can right-click and inspect element?
Yeah.
If you do that, you won't see any of the PHP code.
Oh.
You'll only see the HTML that the PHP actually processes and builds.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That would save me a ton of time on designing websites.
Yeah.
Because while I'm editing, I couldn't care less about the headers or footers because you design those once on those separate files and then be done with them.
So you can go to my website actually, jmartmedia.com, spelling out the Jay.
Yeah, we're gonna. Okay.
You want to close? You want to close your?
Yeah, we're good.
You good?
Yeah.
Just to share.
Yep. Thanks.
So, if you scroll down a little bit and look on the right side, there is an area that says most recent web scraping with PHP, then PHP, blah, blah, blah. So that is a separate PHP file. All of that stuff on the right, all that comes from a separate PHP file. And when you load the index.php file, it grabs, I think it's called articles.php or something. No, it's called aside or sidebar or something. So it grabs sidebar.php and it grabs and it puts that code into the index.php file. Actually, I might be able to. Nope. Ooh, interesting. And I'm pretty sure I did it for the header too and the footer.
Huh.
And but anyway, yeah, so it's a lot of separate files that work together. There's probably like 7 different files.
Okay.
And when you visit the one page, it grabs all the individual subfiles and puts it into one page. So
this got way complicated.
Yeah, it got way complicated and way technical and way specific. But yeah, PHP is definitely worth learning. And it's not that hard either. If you understand basic programming concepts like what a variable is. Which you seem
versus
to know
an
that.
array.
Yeah, versus an array.
Because then there's like a 3D array table, and that is
still 2-dimensional arrays and
unfathomable
3-dimensional arrays.
Because then the professor tried to explain, it's like, all right, think about when you get dressed in the morning. It's a person. And then, so your 2D array is going to be, you have your socks, you have your shoes, you have your pants, you have your shirt, you have your hat.
Okay.
And then
you might have 2 socks.
Yeah. And then your 3D array is going to be under your socks. You're going to have black, white, blue, red, yellow.
Yep.
And he said, try to imagine your arrays like that. So when you want to pick out a pair of pants, you're going to look at blue jeans, denim shorts.
So it's kind of like on a character select menu.
Yeah.
When you're hitting that right and left arrow.
And that's how he tried to explain it to me, and that's the only way I can imagine it.
Okay.
So if he's wrong,
no, I mean that's a good way of explaining it.
Otherwise, I have no idea what a 3D array is.
Yeah. Well, that would really be. I would say that'd be a 2D array because one.
Oh. So then it would be like, so you'd have like your shirts, and then you'd have your shirt colors, and then you'd have like tank top, short sleeve, long sleeve, jacket, or whatever.
Yeah. So that'd be going into 3D.
So how would you even call that array? Because you would be like.
You would do so when you're calling an
X,
array.
Y, and Z?
You have your array name, so it might be clothing.
Yeah.
And then you have your bracket, and you have a number from 0 to however many the array goes to. So you might have clothing.
And then
which way does this go? Clothing.
Towards me.
No.
Oh.
That's what confused me. Clothing, and then you'd have your little brackets and have a 0, so maybe that's your hat at the very top of the array.
Sure.
And then from inside this array, you'd have another brackets. It would be...
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have another bracket for your 3D and 4D and 5D. And
Oh. See, that gets a lot more sense.
it's confusing.
It actually makes more sense to me.
Does it? Okay.
Because
But that's how you reference each item in the individual array.
So instead of visualizing it like a 3D object, it's more like a giant drop-down menu.
Exactly. No, exactly. That is exactly right. So a one-dimensional drop-down menu
Yeah.
would be just one selection, like you had on your menu.
Yeah.
But say you had a list of professions, you might have IT and then
It's like a
teacher,
Photoshop
and
menu.
then you have another
Yeah.
sub drop down and a sub drop down. Yeah, exactly.
That actually makes a
Yeah.
lot more sense.
Yeah,
I wish she just explained it like that.
yeah. Yeah, sub drop down menus is a great way of explaining it. Or sub trees on or sub files on a website or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I learned something tonight.
yeah,
I don't know when I'm ever going to use it. Thanks, though.
yeah. So now I can make a video on what is an array.
70 array.
Visualizing an array.
You get all the nerds and do a
4D
20D
chess.
array. For the 20-sided dice, 20D array. And some clickbait in there.
Actually, I watched a video on 4D chess.
Okay, I might have seen the same video.
So 2D chess is a normal chessboard. You've got your X and your Y.
Yep.
3D chess is chessboards stacked on top of each other.
Yes.
So you can move in the X coordinate, Y coordinate, and then Z coordinate.
Yep.
4D chess is you have a stack of 3D chessboards. So like, here's one 3D array, and there's another 3D stack of chessboards, and another 3D stack of chessboards. So you can move in X and Y and Z, and then you can jump to
The same spot.
like
on the
0,
other
0
board?
on the other one. Yep.
Good lord.
And you can go. The complicated part is when you start playing the queen, and you're going diagonal, or the knight. You're moving X and like.
So, could the knight on just a 3D chessboard
He could go up and right.
Go up and diagonal?
Not diagonal, but he could go. He could go up 2 boards and over 1, or up 2 boards and forward 1.
Okay, I wasn't
to the right
because
two
like
and up
yeah,
one.
because like he can go straight to and then to the side one.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if he could go up a board and then straight. And
Yeah.
then up a board and side, or however that works.
He would only have 1 move, so it'd be up and then to the right.
That makes
Or
sense.
yeah. So it
Would
wouldn't
he
be
have to
like
go up, and then to the right, or would
he could go up and to the right, or he could go up and to the right and to the right.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But with 4D, it's when you're visualizing it, it's almost like you're teleporting.
Mhm.
So you go up and then you go over and over.
That would take so long to play.
Yeah, it was really complicated to even just to watch. Trying to follow it was.
I would want to watch that like ×2 speed on YouTube and just watch these dudes like.
Yeah, it's like they're teleporting everywhere. Whew. Speaking of things that are hard to watch on video, drone racing is really hard to watch on video.
Is it nauseating, or is it like golf where they
It's
have
just
the
hard to
camera
follow.
the drones?
It's hard to follow because if you don't know the course, it's hard to follow. We're kind of getting into the drone stuff as we mentioned earlier, and
Got mine rebuilt.
yep. So we'll have to fly it sometime, and we'll have to get you flying without auto level first.
Yeah. So it's like been beautiful weather for like a week and a half. I fixed it and it started pouring.
Today it was pouring down rain. I was worried that the studio area would be flooded, which he said never floods, which is good.
Yeah.
Because my garage floods
Yeah. Thankfully.
every time it
yeah.
rains.
Garage is flat, and then right outside it goes at an angle. So it all. I mean, it could flood. It have to rain really hard.
Yeah, if like the whole neighborhood flooded.
Yeah, 'cause we're on top of the hill.
Yeah.
There's houses, roofs below
Yeah.
my feet right now. Otherwise, I think we made it an hour, 9 minutes, and 14 seconds.
Okay. The last bit of content was pretty decent. We
Yeah.
got off to a rough start.
Because we ran out of topics at 22 minutes, which is a lot of my fault.
Well,
I
yeah.
didn't add much to this week.
Anything.
I added a comment. I said, well, where was it?
Ooh, I haven't
Yeah.
made any progress on the auto home yet.
Yeah, I haven't made any progress on the auto home.
So that's the update.
Actually, I did take it out of the boxes. I have it fully assembled sitting in my car.
The Raspberry Pi, okay.
Yeah.
So you're taking it to the shop,
I assembled it on Tuesday.
which was the day after the stream.
Yeah. Actually, I assembled it right after you left while I was eating dinner.
Did it ever make it out of the car?
No.
So it's been in there since Tuesday?
Still in there. I put it in there Tuesday morning. I was going to work on it. And it got so busy. It's like,
Yeah, that's a good thing, though.
It's a really good thing. Yeah, so no progress on that.
We'll have to find more topics, but actually topics that we're interested in.
Yeah.
Like
And-
3D arrays.
Hopefully the weather will be really nice this week and we can fly drones
Yes.
because we got the LEDs on it.
Yes.
Oh, I actually soldered the tip of it. So mine just hot plugs.
Oh.
So it just plugs into the ballast.
Yeah.
Did you get them or do you?
No, I haven't got them yet.
I'll let you
So-
know you were doing it.
So we've also got LEDs Jimmy rigged on these things. So mine, you probably can't really see this, but I have just 2 random cables here that literally just plug into my
Do you stuff 'em in or
power here. Actually, I just stuff them in. And then I electrical tape over them because that's good. And in theory, if I plug the hot into the hot and the ground into the ground, and my battery's not, there you go. And then it lights up, and you can kind of see the lights. You can see them a lot better when it's dark, obviously.
I can make it a little darker in here right fast. Without even standing up.
Oh.
Look at this smart
Here you go, home automation.
Automation, throw a phone at. It's not gonna be completely dark. It's a whole lot more dark.
Oh wow, that's really dark actually.
Yeah, that's
Not that
dark. Let's let you plug it in.
So that's what it looks like. And it's really hard to follow the drone at night, but with the lights it'll make it a lot easier. But Jacob has an actual, where is it?
Those right there.
Oh yeah, an actual.
Ballast
Did you even solder this on, or did you?
Yeah, I soldered it on. I did solder it on.
He has an actual plug that he plugs into instead of just plugging the wires into. And he's got his little headlights
And taillights.
and taillights.
Well, a little flying car. The Flintstones will be proud.
Red. Yeah. But
I really want to get turn signals. I want to put yellow ones on the. I'll put yellow ones. Ooh, I just smashed my microphone.
sorry for your ears.
Yellow ones on the bottom of the arms, and then have it, instead of soldered straight into this, have it soldered onto the
ESC?
the ESCs, and see if it will line up. The more I turn it, it would be backwards, but it would still be cool.
Yeah.
Unless I ran
So
the
if you
wire down
power-
and around and on the other one.
Right.
And then at least it would be correct.
Yeah.
And then whenever I turn, I just have to max throttle and then down so that it blinks.
These things take a beating though, so.
Oh man, I actually destroyed my fingernail rebuilding this. I crushed it on pavement. The carbon fiber is actually peeling up.
So sharp. Oh,
It's-
so you stuck your fingernail underneath it or something?
Yeah, and it.
That
I was
sounds
shooting
painful.
blood for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And if we had,
I'm surprised we haven't broken an arm yet.
it's real close. That one's
You
damaged.
busted some motors.
Yeah, I busted a lot of motors. But I kind of want to fly it tonight if it stops raining.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. He has a massive searchlight
It's actually sitting over.
that will
Yeah.
allow you to get stuck in a tree at night.
Yeah. Don't fly drones at night, especially when you don't have lights on them. And you can't fly to begin with.
Yeah. So next week we may do a pre-show. We've talked about
Yes.
possibly doing a pre-show. So we might stream kind of the setup.
I
And-
really want to do it. So
Possibly flying some drones.
that would be cool. If it's not
Just-
raining.
Yeah. Just to kind of stream something. We wouldn't upload it to YouTube most likely.
I wouldn't.
I'm looking for content. Hey,
Yeah.
quantity over quality.
Apparently.
So
We'll stream it to Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that ends up working out. We'll have to make sure we can actually get this stuff set up though.
Yeah, so on this side of me, that side of me, it's just garage crap. But on this side over here is actually a bunch of workbenches. So I'm going to set up a camera up on the ceiling pointing down that way so I can do more live streams on me actually building and working on electronics. Because there are workbenches where you can do carpentry stuff, but it's mostly electrical stuff. And so like I was fixing the drone today, hoping to fly it for an hour before you got off work, and it just started pouring.
If you could get a camera set up right there,
Right
or
above
some
the
kind
light.
of mount that you can, like the quick detach mount, that you can just swap it in, swap it out.
I
That
got
would
extra
be.
tripods.
You do have extra tripods. That could work good for getting a top-down view, and then you could have like a webcam on the side for the more general shot view.
That would work. Yeah, so one thing I was trying with Facebook, autofocus doesn't work very well on the DSLR
Okay.
when you're doing live streaming.
Yeah.
And so every time I wanted to show something, I had to stand next to the camera, autofocus to my hand, show it, and then I autofocus back to the rest of the workbenches. And the majority of the stream was me saying, "Oh, you can't see it. Let me refocus real fast."
Mine focuses great on faces, but not much else.
Okay. So
Which this would be perfect. Right now it's on manual, of course, because we're not really moving around that much.
But yeah, so 2 cameras would be great, so that I could just have one focus for showing small things like the size of these balance plugs.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, is that it for today?
Yeah, week 2, day 1.
Uh,
We're actually making it.
yep. We'll see you next week.